Course. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another daily debate session. And today we have a very interesting topic in which we're going to be discussing green energy sources and that kind of stuff. And today we're going to be using the format of opening speech and rebuttal speech only, no question and answer round. And today we have very interesting participants. We have Ronald Kadam and Kajvi in the opposition team, and we have in the proposition team Niyari and Gitaka. Hello, everyone. Are you ready to start? Proposition team. Proposition team, are you guys ready?
Gitika has to go first.
Gitika.
Okay.
We'll start now, and as I have said, the topic for today's discussion is going to be revolving around the green sources of energy, and the topic says nuclear energy is a sustainable solution to climate change. Our friends in the proposition team will support this statement, while in the opposition team will go against it, and I think we are ready to start. Okay, Gitika, go ahead.
Hey, Nasir, can you please repeat the format once again?
Of course, I will send it in the chat so that you can see it because we have sent it before.
Okay, thank you. Can I start?
Of course.
Today, I strongly stand with the motion that nuclear energy is a sustainable solution for climate change. A good future is what we all want. An unavailability of mild and clean environment is also a reason that almost 19.57 million people of Indian origin have left this country and got resided abroad. So isn't it more a means to alter our choices, prevent the further climate change and bring improvement in our environment for better livelihood? Therefore, one of the solutions that we come across is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is produced by splitting the atoms of radioactive elements that are 38 in number. This energy, which is actually considered a totally dangerous one, is one of the clean energy, or you can say one of the best friend of our nature, as its carbon emission is about zero. It is one of the best non-renewable alternative to almost all other not regenerating energy sources like natural gas, coal, and oil. Now, what where are we going to use this energy? Let us have a look at that. Nuclear medicines. Radioisotopes are produced in nuclear reactors and are used in diagnostic and therapeutic procedures such as cancer treatment. Agriculture. Radioisotopes are used for pest control, soil analysis, and food irradiation, space exploration, industrial application, research and development, and one of the biggest use is the electricity generation. Yes, it is a cheap source to generate electricity through this nuclear energy.
Are you done, Gitika? I think her correct connection is bad, but Gitika, can you hear me? Gitika's connection has gone bad, so we'll automatically switch to the opposition team.
Yeah, I'll begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Sir, let me begin by saying this. Just because something sounds clean doesn't mean it's safe. And just because it's carbon free doesn't mean it's sustainable. Now, before my esteemed opponents keep romanticizing nuclear energy like it's the ultimate climate savior, let's remind ourselves of some of actual facts. Firstly, the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe itself admitted that nuclear energy has extremely high upfront costs and an average construction delays over a decade. The Flamanville plant in France still not operational, delayed by 12 years, and the cost overrun by more than 200%. So while world is literally on fire, my opponent suggests we are waiting decades and waste billions for something that might not even work on time. Sir, that's not solution. That's a gamble. Secondly, if nuclear power is so safe, why does the Article 4 of the UN Convention on Nuclear Safety exist, urging countries to actively prevent radioactive exposure and ensure emergency preparedness? Because the risk is real. Even the International Atomic Energy stated that nuclear accidents like the Fukushima and Chernobyl caused irreversible environmental and human damage. We are talking about regions rendered unlivable for centuries, and they call that sustainable. Now, coming to the biggest blunder, and pardon me. So what? Okay. And pardon me for pointing this out, but many of the nations promoting nuclear energy today are the same ones that still don't have a concrete plan to manage nuclear waste. Do you know what that means? Waste that remains toxic for 10,000 years is being dumped underground or stored temporarily without long-term strategy. Even the World Nuclear Waste Report 2019 stated that no country in the world has successfully implemented a deep geological disposal facility for high-level waste. So essentially, we are solving one crisis while creating another for our future generations to suffer. And let's not forget, nuclear energy is not immune to geopolitics. As seen in Ukraine, a war zone with nuclear power plants is a disaster waiting to happen. Should we really put more reactors around the world when conflicts are only increasing? Sir, I firmly stand against this motion. Real sustainability isn't just about lowering emissions. It's about long-term safety, affordability, and justice. And nuclear energy fails on all three fronts. Let's not pretend otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're on time. Now moving on to the opposition team, we have Niari.
All right, I'll start in 3, 2, and 1. Good evening, everyone. The opposition has raised concerns about cost, safety, waste management, and geopolitics. These concerns, while they are important, are either exaggerated, outdated, or not unique to nuclear energy only. I'll explain why nuclear energy remains sustainable and a necessary solution to climate change despite those criticisms. First of all, the opposition ignored that the most critical part about nuclear energy is that it is one of the only scalable and carbon-free sources of constant power. Unlike solar power or wind power, it doesn't depend on weather or storage. France's Flamanville plant, while over budget, will supply clean electricity for 60 plus years, replacing millions of tons of carbon dioxide. If we're serious about climate change, we can't dismiss one of the most powerful low emissions tools that we have. Now, Flamanville was delayed, but it is one plant. Many others are on time and under budget, especially the small modular reactors, SMRs. Once they're built, nuclear plants have very low operating costs and can run for decades, making them cost effective in the long term. The International Energy Agency confirms that nuclear is competitive when lifetime emissions and reliability are factored in. Now, modern reactors are designed with passive safety features that shut down automatically in emergencies. Radiation exposure from nuclear plants is less than what people get from eating bananas or flying planes. Like, I mean, sure, accidents do happen, but no one died from radiation exposure. We can regulate nuclear with strict international standards, making it safer than coal, gas, or even hydropower. The opposition says that no country has proper disposal, but Finland's Galo repository opened in 2023 and it is ready to store waste for over 10,000 years. Nuclear waste is contained, monitored, and minuscule in volume compared to the billions of tons of fossil fuel waste released into the air every year. Next-gen reactors can reuse waste as fuel, cutting the problem down further. They also used Ukraine as an example. No energy is safe in a war zone. Like wind farms and hydro dams can be bombed too. But during peacetime, nuclear energy actually reduces dependence upon fossil fuels and petrostates, enhancing energy security, not like weakening it. In conclusion, the opposition has raised valid concerns, but none of them outweigh the urgency of climate change. The nuclear energy is carbon-free, reliable, safe, as well as increasingly sustainable. The risks are manageable, but the benefits are massive, and the alternatives alone aren't enough. This is why we stand firmly in opposition of the motion.
Thank you very much, and I'm very sorry to cut you off, but we have to stick to time. And now the final speech with Rajvi.
It is rightly said by a sustainability astute that the earth is what we all have in common. A very good evening to all of you. Today we have not just gathered here to talk whether nuclear energy is a sustainable solution to climate change or not, but to decide whether we are ready to save for future generations. I believe nuclear energy is not a sustainable solution to climate change. I believe this due to fact that nuclear power reactors are not equipped with abilities to fight and reduce climate change. Instead, they may prove to be chaotic. How? Well, why? Because most nuclear reactors are water dependent. To cool down, they need water. But seeing the future climate change can reduce water availability, and rising water temperature can reduce reactors' efficiency and generation capacity, I don't see it as a better option. This has been proved in the last decade. Nearly 4,000 weather-related outages occurred in the nuclear power plants due to cooling and warm water. Not only this, European summer heat resulted to struggles with operation of these nuclear operators. Why? Due to extraordinary climate and hydrologic conditions. I would like to say that energy supplies were faced by France in the year 2000, Switzerland in the year 2000, and USA in the year 2020. Thus, at the end, I would like to say nuclear energy is not the future because sustainability at the cost of consistent growth is not something great to desire for.
Thank you very much for your speech. Thank you very much for your speech. Is Gitika here with us?
Yes, actually, I'm here. Network was not working. Can I just do it again? Like, can I
Yeah,
do
no
my
problem.
opening speech right now again?
We're going to consider the debate over, but I'm going to give you a chance to present again for 2 minutes.
Yes, okay. Today, I strongly stand with the motion that nuclear energy is a sustainable solution for climate change. A good future is what we all want. An unavailability of mild and clean environment is also a reason that almost 19.57 million people of Indian origin have left this country and got resided in abroad. So isn't it more a need to alter our choices, prevent the further climate change and bring improvement in our environment for better livelihood? Therefore, one of the solutions that we came across is nuclear energy. It is not alone. There are many other, but it is also a sustainable solution for our climate change. Nuclear energy is produced by splitting the atoms of radioactive elements that are 38 in number. This energy, which is usually considered a totally plunder and a dangerous one, is actually one of the clean energy, or you can say one of the best friend of our nature, as its carbon emission is about zero. It is one of the best non-renewable alternative to almost all other non-renewable sources of energy like natural gas, coal, and oil. And the reason is not only the carbon emission, but also waste. The waste of nuclear energy is very less radioactive. However, the other non-renewable sources of energy that we use in our present leave a huge amount of carbon traces and other problems. Let us look at some of the uses of nuclear energy.
Okay, then.
Nuclear medicine.
Yeah, continue.
Uh, Nuclear medicine is one of the use of nuclear energy. Radioisotopes produced in nuclear reactors are used in diagnostic and therapeutic procedures such as cancer treatments. Industrial application nuclear energy can be used as a heat source for various industrial processes. including desalination, synthetic oil production, and hydrogen production. And to those who say that this energy is not safe, well, for now it is not. Because if you try to clap with your right hand and your right leg by keeping your right hand at one place and putting up your leg in the air, is it convenient at all? No. Therefore, I think that in future, if we improve certain things such as safe and secure waste management, robust safety protocols to prevent accidents, and ongoing research and development to improve reactor technology and waste treatment methods, then definitely it would be one of the best things that we can use for our energy uses. In the future upcoming and looking at the consumption of energy in present, I think that the world will promote the use of this energy. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your speech. Thank you very much. Well, as I said already, we could consider the debate over. Now I'm going to go through a few things just a bit. Well, as you guys see, the topic is related to sustainable energy and nuclear, which is something not everyone can discuss. I think it's more, it's a bit tight, as you could see. Maybe when you have done your research, you didn't find enough sources speaking about this. Maybe you couldn't find a lot of pages and articles that provide information that you could have used, especially especially for the people that go against the topic. For the topic, maybe as well, but just a bit. So the topic is tight, and that's exactly why I didn't give you much time to present, because there's a lot you've said. I can tell that you guys have covered almost everything, all the aspects, the uses of energy, the dangers of uses, and some examples, as Bernard has mentioned, from the real life of dangers that could come, and also as Gitika has mentioned, some of the good uses for this energy. But overall, I'm going to give personal feedback to those who I have not met before, who are Kajvi and Gitika. Kajvi, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you for joining us today, and I believe this is the first time I have met you in a daily debate, but hopefully I meet you again. You have done the rebuttal speech, not the first speech, and in the rebuttal speech, you want to focus a bit on refuting the arguments that people have came up with. Am I clear to you?
Yes, you are clear.
If you could please keep your microphone open so that I could have a clear discussion with you, so that I could get the point to you again, if you don't mind that. And as I said, what you want to do if you are in a position of rebuttal, if you are preparing for rebuttal, you want to keep up with what the others are saying. Every point they have spoken about, every argument they came up with, every example they mentioned, you note it down. Keep a notebook next to you and a pencil. Note down everything they have said and go through it. You say this is wrong. I say this. You say this, it's wrong. You say this is wrong. Because. Try to justify everything you have said. That's what you should do. What you have done is great, and it's very interesting, and you have supported your friend in the team. But you want to add more. You want to a bit focus more on the refutal of arguments. Is that clear?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And we hope to see you again participating. Like I said, this is not a criticism, but I'm just trying to help you improve, because I do this usually. I give feedback to people. And if you ever need any help, if you ever need any help or guidance, you can contact us personally in the team developers, of course. And Gitika.
Yes, I'm here.
I liked your first speech more, but unfortunately, connection went awful. But your first speech was better, just to let you know. Because
Actually, both are the same speeches only.
But I understand connection can go awful sometimes. One of the very first things you have mentioned in your first speech was the fact that people are leaving India because the lack of energy or something like that. Am I correct?
Yes, actually, I was saying that it is one of the cause, not the only cause.
That's very
Because I've heard
That's
I've
very
heard many people around me also saying that they want to leave this country for this cause, for the
yeah,
smoke and
understand.
all.
I understand, but the way we are debating today, the topic is not revolving around India only. So maybe you should have mentioned India as an example, because the topic does not revolve around India only.
Yes, yes. Uh,
You get what Yeah.
I've mentioned it as an example only.
I mean, I know, but just like to point out that because a lot of people make that
Okay.
mistake where they think the topic is revolving around their country only or something. You
Okay,
didn't make a
okay.
mistake, but just to point out, you have done excellent delivery of the points in your first speech. And also, I didn't get to see much of your footage, but I have seen that you have made very good contact, eye contact, and also using gestures and that kind of stuff. Your delivery of words was very interesting, and you have done very well. What you want to do is that you might want to highlight your position a bit more. Try to like make it obvious to everyone that we in the proposition team are standing and supporting this statement and then provide your reasons so that you could support your friend in the team, Niyari, or anyone else, if you know what I mean. You want to assure the position just the more,
Yes, okay.
and also you want to focus on time. I mean, you did,
Okay.
but a bit more focus on time. Overall, you guys have done very well, and thank you very much. If you have any questions, go ahead. If you guys don't have any questions, Niyari?
I don't think you said anything about my speech.
No. It's not the first time like we discussed, but you have done very well, as usual. Like I said, if any of you guys need any guidance or you want more clarification regarding this specific topic, because I'm the one who picked it, then text me. We could discuss more about it. If you need any information or clarification regarding it. Aryan, how did the debate go?
Sir, it went nicely.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys very much, and all the best to you.
Did you give like a verdict?
Yes, please. What are you saying?
Did you give like a verdict, like who won, who lost?
I don't do that usually because that's not my job. But you guys have delivered very good arguments on both sides. Regarding the arguments, I mean the topic is a bit leaning more towards proposition generally because there are some negatives for nuclear energy, but not much. But what our friends Branad and Kashfi have mentioned is very accurate, very correct in real life. But the way I'm going to decide this is regarding statistics. Real life statistics show that very small or very specific places where where there's danger regarding the use of nuclear energy for sustainable uses or sustainable as a source of sustainable energy. Not much, if we talking realistically. But regarding the arguments, you guys have done very well on both sides. I'm not going to decide a winner. Thank you very much.
Have a great day, Nasir.
Thank you. Branad,